It's 1987 and something strange is stirring in the town of Thimbleweed Park, and it's not just a dead body lying in the river. Sure, there's a whole murder mystery to figure out, but this town is filled with secrets. The demise of Chuck, the richest man in town, has caused quite a stir with the citizens. A town that used to thrive with different businesses is now mostly in ruins. What happened in this town to turn it into such an absolute mess? The game starts with 2 FBI main characters, but soon broadens to a slew of characters. It's much like Maniac Mansion and Day of the Tentacle in that respect. Thimbleweed even has quite a few references to Maniac Mansion scattered throughout the game, like 2 of the main characters, Sandy and Dave. They run a crappy little diner in the middle of town.
I love you, Dave. I just want things to go back to how they were.
Me too, Love Muffin.
Snuggle cakes.
The game introduces us to new characters through flashbacks that occur during dialogue. Later in the title, you'll be able to switch between each character at will. This creates a lot of combo opportunities in the game. For example, one character will be able to trick an NPC into leaving their post so that another character can go in and steal the items. Each of these characters have their own unique personalities and they can solve problems and obtain items that the other characters cannot. This makes for a lot of OCD based multitasking puzzles, but it also stops the game from being a one-dimensional mess. Ron Gilbert learned from the randomness of old adventure titles. You won't have to combine every single item in your inventory to try to figure out a puzzle. The information is more lenient and straightforward, but never leans on the side of too easy. There are 2 very distinct modes for casual play and hardcore adventure enthusiasts. So you can play a more simplified version of the game first and then dip your toe into the harder puzzles. The game has also been modernized enough to allow for faster movement around town and even introduces a fast travel map in Act 3. It wouldn't be fair to speak about an adventure game without talking about the writing. The dialogue is a throwback to the world of the 80s while still being witty for 2017. Agent Reyes has a distinct accent but a more laid-back attitude and conducts himself much differently than the cold-hearted and to-the-point Agent Ray.
I'm afraid I don't have any spare change, miss.
I'm a federal agent. Show some respect or I'll have you booked for solicitation.
Sweetie, I'm not a hooker.
The agents are nothing compared to the wacky, slur-filled ramblings of Ransom the Clown, a rude clown that spews more filth than a public toilet.
Deliver it to me in person. What do you think I pay my tax dollars for? You haven't paid your taxes in years. Who do you think sorts all outgoing mail? Well, you.
However, it's the citizens of Thimbleweed Park that tell the weirdest and most interesting stories. A sheriff who clearly moonlights as a coroner is supposedly 2 different people because he says Areno and the other says Ahu.
Aren't you the Sheriff Areno?
Oh my, no. Haha, no, who? Well, people say there is some resemblance around the eyes, but we're as different as peas of who's in a pot of who.
Thimbleweed Park is a hilarious adventure game that constantly breaks the 4th wall. It's self-referential to the point that it even mentions tons of 80s adventure game knowledge. It takes a lot of shots at the design of Sierra adventure games of the 80s. It even mentions Lucasfilm as Mucusfilm, and it even includes light programming information to boot. The characters will often question their own mortality as an avatar in an adventure title.
This is really odd. Should I save my game?
I wouldn't worry about it. The game was expertly designed to have no dead ends or death. Yet still be scary and have a sense of tension. You can feel safe exploring whatever you want.
It's charming enough to be humorous and mysterious in the same sentence. The story unravels in a David Lynch style of storytelling. This weird little town has a crazy secret and it unfolds in a spooky manner of cryptic conversations and creepy security footage. The lure to learn more about the secret of the town is just as alluring as the comedy. Visually, this game looks like a Lucasfilm title in 2017. It shares a familiarity with Maniac Mansion, but you can make out the details in the world. Its ability to nail the nostalgia look of the 1980s Scum engine while simultaneously utilizing the HD visuals of today is quite a feat. The sound also matches the throwback aesthetic with tubular tunes you would expect out of a classic adventure game. And now for bullet points. To trim reviews down to a modest size, I'll shoot off random musings in bullet point fashion near the end of a review. There are some points when voiced audio only comes out of one speaker. You can't skip dialogue during any conversation, so you'll have to listen to the entirety of a discussion again if you make the wrong selection. Ron Gilbert and his team have created a lovable, nostalgic, and outright fantastic adventure title. This game revitalizes the classic style of adventure game without simply settling for remaking one. It touches on the spirit of the games that came before it and properly modernizes them for 2017. Thimbleweed Park is the best adventure game I've played in a long time in terms of puzzle structure, dialogue, and overall fun factor. If you're in any way a fan of point-and-click adventure titles, do yourself a favor and pick this one up.
How do you make the starship so small?
I use the same tools as jewelry and watch repairers do. They allow me to carefully place each photon torpedo.
Place the faux-dumb torpedo up your...
I will not listen to such comments, sir. Goodbye.